Cool. So, where do you work?
All right, I work at, first, my name is Jared. I work at Schrodinger. They're a software company. They have an office downtown Portland. We also have a headquarters in New York. We make computational chemistry software.
Awesome. So, what's the basic outline of your job, and how do you use computer science within it?
Sure. So I'm on the marketing team. One of my main responsibilities is to program the website. So that takes a lot of computer science, just programming PHP and HTML, JavaScript and stuff, to add new web pages to the site or extend the CMS, that sort of thing. Beyond that, for other parts of my job, I have to use computers pretty much all day, whether it's email or stuff like Adobe Photoshop or other programs on the internet and stuff. Really all kinds of computer use, and then, like I said, programming the website uses a lot of computer science stuff.
Awesome. We did a little HTML. So, clearly you have a job that involves computer science. Did you take steps to learn computer science when you were in school, or did that come when you learned that was the job that you were going to apply for? How did you get into computer science and educate yourself?
Yeah, it's kind of funny, actually. So back in high school, I took some website building, computer science classes. In college, I actually studied biology and science and then business for my master's degree. So I didn't do a lot of computer science, but in the meantime, I'd still kind of been working on websites and doing kind of freelance stuff for some smaller companies. So then after I graduated college, I was looking for jobs. People kept seeing that on my resume as experience. I could build websites and had some computer programming knowledge. So they're like, oh, well, can you do that for us? And I was like, sure, I need a job, I'll do that. So no problem. So kind of fell into it a little bit. It's kind of a hobby, but also kind of something that employers wanted and a skill I had. So I was like, okay, well, I can do that, no problem.
So what made you want to pursue a career as someone who is able to work with computers and connect that with an outside field like biology and science?
I just always really liked computers ever since I was a little kid, playing with those really old Windows i86 machines or whatever they were. So kind of what steps did I take? It's kind of nice because computer science is nice because it's kind of it's the type of job you can get experience for just by yourself. Because really all you need is a computer and maybe a book or something that tells you how to do it. So you can kind of start building your portfolio. Kind of right away you can start building programs or building your different websites or whatever you want to do. So that's kind of one way I fell into it. It's hard when you go to look for a job. People always want experience and stuff. They want to see that you've done it before. So kind of the nicest thing about computer science is that you can get that experience and build a portfolio without actually having to be hired by someone full-time.
Yeah. So I know that clearly you told us you work a lot with biology when you were in college. And I know you work at a biotech company. So what other pairings do people have that are interesting, and how do they pair that with computer science to get the work done?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's kind of funny because when you asked me to look for someone to do this interview or whether I could do it, I started looking at all my coworkers' backgrounds, and you'd think, okay, well, we make software, that's what we do. You'd think everybody would have a computer science degree, but actually most people don't seem to have them. They have chemistry or physics or English, or they studied something slightly different in college, and then they're kind of combining those skills with some computer programming knowledge, like Python is the main language that we program in. They kind of pick up those Python skills and then combine that with their knowledge of physics or chemistry or whatever it was to make the programs we do. So that's just for us because we're a science company, but I can kind of imagine almost any skill set that you have could kind of be tied into computer programming, just because there's programs that do English, there's translating programs, there's engineering programs, practically everything. So that's another kind of nice thing about CS, I guess, is that you can almost pair it with anything you want to, because you can make a cool new computer program to do something that people need or want or hasn't been done before.
Yeah. I know in talking to you and organizing this, I learned that you do a lot of stuff on GitHub, which is what we've been learning about.
Okay.
So I was wondering, does your company use GitHub a lot to I know you make, you told us you make software, so do they use that a lot to get feedback on that, or how does that affect what your company does?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, we use GitHub for basically all of our software is stored on GitHub, different repos. So as you guys have probably been learning, it's a great way to collaborate with different developers. So if one of our developers in New York wants to check in some code, he can do that. And then out here in Portland, they can, when they get in the morning, they can pull that code down and then edit it and check it right back in. So we use that for all of our software. We also use it for the website too, ironically. We have the code base stored on GitHub. There are different repos, as you can imagine. But yeah, it's such a great service. So that's another great thing I'd recommend for people that are interested in computer science, is I started to see that on a lot of applications is, oh, just send us your GitHub profile, or just send us your whatever feed or whatever it is. So if you start, just upload your projects on there. It's cool. There's nothing like that when I was back in high school, but you can put your projects on there. You can collaborate with other people. So especially, I'd say some great advice would be if you have like a specific company you really want to work for, just make like a plugin or something for them if you can. Like make some sort of add-on. It can be something really simple, and then check it into GitHub and show that that'll kind of show the employer that, well, I'm really interested, and I can already kind of build some cool plugins or add-ons or something for your software. So yeah, GitHub's awesome. We use it. Definitely learn how to use it, all the terminology and stuff, and
all right.
Be helpful.
Final question: how do you think your job affects or is helpful to the world at large?
That's kind of easy for us because we make, I mentioned kind of briefly, we make computer chemistry software, or chemistry software. So a lot of drug companies, pretty much all the pharmaceutical companies are using it, and a lot of research labs are. So it's really actively trying to design drugs to kind of help humans' health and wellness, well-being. We have one drug that was kind of discovered strictly using computational chemistry that's in phase 2 chemical trials right now, so it's getting close to helping, getting actually into the clinic where it can be given to patients. But even beyond that, even if there hasn't been a specific drug, there's been a lot of help in terms of understanding how chemicals work and how different drugs interact on people's bodies just by using our software. It's been kind of fascinating to see as software's gotten a lot faster because, say back in like 1988 when my company was founded, the calculations that we do today would take weeks. They just have to turn on the computer and let it sit for weeks, and those same calculations we can do in just a couple of hours using GPUs or using Amazon Web Services, that sort of thing. So yeah, I think it's kind of building the knowledge has helped humanity, hopefully, and then as we move on, hopefully there'll be even a few more drugs that make it into clinical trials and can eventually help patients out. So
yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me in.